We have time for one more question. Okay.
I don't have a question, I have a comment.
Oh, okay.
May I make a comment? I would like to thank the local commissioners for how they have handled their business in this county. I am what you might call a sort of a businesswoman. And I lived in Las Vegas and watched things go on. And I do not think that this area needs someone coming from back east to tell us how.
Let's hold on.
Wait a Why did you rebut that?
Yes, hang on. We want to hear from the candidates. Campaign statements. I'll give Ms. Bunting, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Right now?
Right?
Yeah, thank you. You know, I think it takes an outsider to come in and see what's wrong with something, and something's been very wrong for 12 years here in Sevier County. It just was like a slap in the face when I walked here 3 years ago. People from the outside are good to bring in new ideas, new programs that have worked where they've lived. To shut out outsiders, is that why you're not attracting businesses here, Marilyn Anderson? Because you chased them away like you did in Salina with the Walmart warehouse? Why did you chase them out of here? That was a good industry, light industry to bring in here.
Time. Okay.
It's time to go.
Let's have one more question. Yeah.
Terry Morty, I'd like to know, we evidently are going to get a pretty good tax break on this power plant. I would like to know from these 5 people, what are their plans to do with this money? Are we going to just go and blow it? Or what are we going to do with it? Are we going to utilize it in a period of time? And I'd like to know what's their plan.
Okay, so the question is, assuming we get tax revenue from the power plant, what would you spend it on? What would you use it for? What's the plan? Not what you spend it on, what's the plan?
What's their thoughts?
And we start out with Ms. Bonavide.
That's a great question. Oops.
That's a great question, thank you. What are we going to do with the money? And it is assuming that we are going to get any money. Because, I don't oppose the gas power plant, but if the people of Sigurd are willing to annex it and bring it into their community, then amen to that. But here's the problem, the discussion of taxes. Our county commissioner bringing in a tax attorney. See, oops, outside counsel coming in. Okay, with your taxpayer dollars paying for it. Okay, why are we bringing in a tax? Because we don't know what money is coming in. Will it be a tax-exempt company that'll take over the building once it's built? Right now, TDA is a charitable foundation. Did you know that? For the coal power plant, the gas power plant developer, this dual application developer. A charitable foundation does not pay taxes. But it's written into the permit. The county commissioners did a good thing, and they said, hey, let's make sure that in lieu of taxes, whoever buys this power plant and uses it, that they will pay taxes, the amount of the taxes they would have to pay if they're a tax-exempt utility, which can happen. But here's the problem, like out in Delta, they used their money up front from that tax-exempt company, used it up front, and then years down the road when they needed the money, services were wearing and tearing on these people, and lo and behold, their taxes, that money in lieu of taxes was paid up front and they didn't have any after that. Now, if that story is true, we don't want that to happen here. So what are we going to do with the money if we actually get it? Well, I say, that's a wonderful thing. Let them come in. If it's $2 million a year, if it really happens, what do you think we could do with that? We could promote this area. We could do we have a wish list. I know the county commissioners have a wish list. I want to get in there and see that wish list. Let's act upon it. Let's keep our vital services and push them to the max. Let's use the money to attract, go all over the United States. Use that money to promote tourism. Let's put it into tourism, folks. We've got a place here. We want to bring people here. They should be lining the streets, and they're not like in other counties. We have more attractions than other counties. Let's use our money to bring them home.
That's a good question, Terry, and I apologize for not introducing myself earlier. My name is Scott Turner. I think it's interesting that the school district preceded us in this forum, and I would like to see teachers' salaries increased. with this money. Their classroom sizes have increased, and I think there ought to be a pay raise for teachers. For one thing, my second agenda is this drug program I mentioned earlier. I'd like to see that drug program brought into the county. We have a serious drug problem here, and I think it needs to be addressed. Having worked with the Richfield City Police Department for a dozen years, I saw things go on at night that I wouldn't like to see. I'd like to see disappeared. And like I said, a fellow approached me today and said that things may have been different for a family member of his had there been a drug program in this county. That is next to nothing that you can walk into and get help without spending a lot of money on counseling and stuff like that. So I'd like to see money used on that purpose as well. And thank you.
Well, I had the opportunity to go to Current Creek up there by Mona City and spend a day with Commissioner Topham. And that was pretty informative. I think anybody that has a question, they ought to go up there and look at that plant. I think for the tax revenue that's going to bring to the valley, it's going to be about $3 million to us in revenue. This project is proposed to be about $410 million to be built. During the time that this process is under construction, we will bring 200 jobs during that time frame to a maximum of 500 people during the time frame that this is being built over a 2-year period. And that doesn't include the pipeline, the gas line, but I look at this and it has a lot of good things to it. Yes, I feel a little bad for the folks in Sigurd being that close to this, but we've battled over this for a long time. I think that we've compromised. We've looked at the water situation, and I think it's a great thing for us to have. As far as the tax money, Terry, I think that we need to maybe look at that and decide what we need, and let's not blow that. I do know that there is outside lawyers looking at this that work especially with taxes. I know right now that IPP, that over there, they're run out of their funds. Their rainy day is over. They're going to have to start cutting over there. Hopefully, after we get to 40 years of having this natural gas plant here, there's money to disassemble it if that has to happen. And we have other resources and revenues to carry us on. A lot of us in this room may not be here in 40 years, so we need to look at that and be concerned about the kids that are coming behind us. Thank you.